Welcome to this tutorial where we'll be showing you how to transcribe audio using the webhook. This is the pipeline we're using. It's just the webhook to the audio transcribe connector to the HTTP results, which sends it back to the webhook. And this is the audio that we're using. This is just an MP3 from our webinar a couple weeks ago.
What is the biggest problem that organizations have when they're trying to retrieve these large amounts?
Right. So you can see that's the audio, and this is the actual output from our pipeline. And as you can see, it transcribed it perfectly. Let me show you how to do this step by step. Let's start on the home page. Let's click New Project. We're just using the sample template that we have already. So this is what we're going to be using. It's a very simple pipeline. It's just the webhook to the audio transcribe connector and then to the HTTP results. And it branches off from the webhook to the data parser and to the transcribe just in case we can't pick up what the actual audio file is. But for our purposes, we're just sending an MP3 file. This shouldn't be an issue. And you don't have to change anything right now. Everything's already pre-configured. The only thing, if you want to change, is in the audio transcribe connector. So here you can change what model you're using, whether you want a more accurate, least accurate, based off of how resource intensive you want it to be. The silence threshold, which just is basically like noise canceling, minimum seconds, maximum seconds, and then the VAD level, which is it works paired with the silence threshold essentially, and it just helps with filtering. Right. So I'm just going to keep the default settings. So if we press save, then now we can run the actual the pipeline. So right now it's running, and in a few seconds in the project log, we'll get a webhook URL. And once we get this, we'll use it into whatever API tester that we're using. Okay, so now we have the webhook URL, and we need to copy this, and we'll be using an API tester. In this case, we're using Talend. You can use any API tester that you're most comfortable with. We're just using Talend because it's relatively easy and it's simple to use if you've never used an API tester before. We'll have it linked in the description as well. So now, once we copy the webhook URL, and this is Talend, and we just need to paste it into the HTTPS box here. Remember, we need to change the method to put. And as for the query parameters, you want to take this API key and you want to copy it. And then you want to put it under headers. And in headers, we need an authorization value. This is just the API key. This lets us communicate with our pipeline. And then we need a second header, and this will be content type. This one will just have the value of whatever we're uploading. Right. Okay, so now we have this. We can remove API key from the website link too. And from here, we just need to add our file now. So by default, the body will start in text, but since we're uploading an MP3 file, we need to go to File, and we need to drag and drop. So from here, we can choose a file. This is the MP3 file that we're using. This is just from the webinar, like I said earlier. And so now I believe we have everything, and we can just send it. So now this is being sent to the pipeline, and the file that we're sending will get sent through this entire pipeline. So through the webhook to the transcribe, and then back to the webhook. And we can see that here in the response. So this is the JSON that's returned. And then under objects, you see this bunch of numbers and letters. This is where our actual transcription is, under text. And you see this. It's a really long text, so I'm going to copy it and I'll paste it into a doc just so it's easy to read. So if we go there and we paste it, we can see, oh, I think I copied a little bit extra. Just get rid of that. And as you can see, this is the transcript. This is meant to be printed through like a Python script or a console log just for more visibility. But if we break it up by the lines, we can see that this is the transcript from the video. So yeah, and You can see at the very beginning, what is the biggest problems that organizations have when they're trying to retrieve these vast amounts of unstructured data. That's the first sentence. If we go back to the actual webinar, starting at the beginning, and I'll press play.
What is the biggest problem that organizations have when they're trying to retrieve these?
And yeah, so now we have a transcript. So yeah, this is the sample pipeline for audio transcription. I can't wait to see what you guys can do with our pipeline. And yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next tutorial video.